You may keep asking yourself, why am I struggling? I don't know. It could be anything. You could be struggling with a medical bill. You could be struggling with your finances. You could be struggling with your spouse. You could be struggling with your kids, your family. You could be struggling with yourself. You're like a wrestler in the middle of a ring, and people are shouting at you, let's go out and party. The audience is going, buy that Mustang Sally, the little red Corvette. Go get that Mercedes. Go get those clothes and those shoes and make sure everything matches. Make sure your hair is the right color. Get those nails together. Go out and just spend. Overspend at the grocery store. Don't worry about it. You'll find the money for it. Overdraft your bank account. Max out those credit cards. That audience is cheering you on. And at 500 miles per hour, and you don't see it because you're listening to the crowd and your peers and your family, and here are two guys and two girls, and they come at you and sucker punch you. Because what? You weren't focusing. You didn't see them coming. You didn't think about anybody would come into that ring but you. And here they come. There's a medical bill. You owe the lawn guy. You broke your foot. One of your kids is sick. They got to go to the hospital. Family member is ill. Somebody's asking for a loan. Blah, 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 blah. It goes on and on. You got sucker punched because you didn't plan. You didn't focus. A 5-letter word. You just did not focus at all. Focusing should be the center of your activities, all of them. You should be clear and have a vision about what's going on. It's clear. You see it through your eyes or your mind. You're able to see it clearly. You pay particular attention to it. You have to focus. You have to look. It's like with your finances. You have to look at your finances and figure out how much money I have coming in, how much is going out, how much am I going to save, what is coming at me in the future. We can't always think about today. You can put your mindset to relax it, to just not think about the past or the future. And I would say stay out of the past, and this is some lessons that you learn that you can bring with you now to help you with your future. Not to sit there and whine about something that happened in the past. Find something that happened that can get you kick-started into a better future. You need to concentrate your attention. You need to focus. Okay? Because focusing will link you to a few things. Number one, decision making. You'll be able to make better decisions. You will think about them before you do something, and you'll make a choice. Number two, problem solving. You'll be able to solve your problems. They may not be perfect. You are human. But you'll be able to solve them and take the time. Like I told some of you, you mess up on cash stuffing or you overspend, you know how to get back. Okay? Or you have to overuse your credit cards. You know now how to problem solve and start all over again. I have no doubt. It's the other people I worry about that you don't know because you're not focused. Number three, you're going to reason it out with yourself or your spouse. You're going to reason it out. We're going to pay this bill, I think, and then we'll do the other one. What do you think? Give me your ideas. Or you reason it out with yourself. You put it on a piece of paper and you reason things out, right? You go, I'm going to look and see how much this bill is, the $1,400. Should I pay off those 2 credit cards, or should I pay off just $1,100 credit card and look and see and make sure everything else is all right and just hold on to that extra $300? You're reasoning with yourself. You're thinking, maybe with your spouse, your kids, or whoever, but you're thinking. You're learning as you go because things may not be right You may make a mistake. You are not Jesus and God. Those are the only two perfect entities in this world. You have free choice from them. So you have to decide which one is right. It may be wrong, but you will learn so that the next time, maybe somebody, your kids or family member, you go, I did that. I went on and paid that credit cards that were $1,400, and then I didn't have any money left over, and I should have paid the $1,100 credit card and had $300 and just held on to it till next month. You're learning, and your memory is going to come into that. Okay, that's number 5, your memory and perception of things. You're going to look at it and go, I remember this. And I'm going to perceive what may happen in the future. I got a different perception of what's going on with my life. You have to focus and you have to concentrate because it's a life-changing thing going on. If you don't focus, things can happen, bad things. If you're not paying attention, bad things can happen. Even when you're walking to your car. I just saw a couple down in Florida. Went to a casino, had a good time. They were enjoying themselves. They were laughing. You can just imagine what was happening. Going back to their car, heading home. And they did not focus. They did not focus on, there was somebody following them, 3 men, and they robbed them of their casino winnings, $3,000, because they were focusing on themselves. It's not their fault, but that part of, you got to think you're in a money situation, and people are there, and they had been watching them the whole time. See, when you win something, who's there? You get a lottery ticket, you got to look the whole time. When I cash in my lottery tickets, it's always 2 or 3 of us cashing in the ticket. One's going in, one's sitting in the car watching. I mean, one's going in with me or I'm going in with them. We don't go by ourselves. You can't do that. And it's not the times. They've been doing this for years, before some of you were even born. Okay, they've been doing this before I was born. They rob people. They watch people. They just don't say anything. We are more media now, so you hear a lot of stuff, but things happen. It's like shark attacks. You didn't hear about shark attacks because it wasn't in the media. It wasn't news. Now you hear every shark attack happening. They've been having shark attacks before we were even born. But you have to focus on where you are, because people they know when you're not paying attention. They know when you got your purse sitting there. They know when you're jogging by yourself. It's not 2 jogging, it's 1. You're taking the same route all the time. You take a walk. You're taking the same route and you're walking by yourself. Sometimes it's not good to walk by yourself. If you get that uneasy feeling and you need to look around at your walk route and see how far is it back to the car. Is it shady, like a bunch of trees and stuff? Yeah, it might be beautiful, but how far? Sometimes 2 people can't stand up against somebody robbing them or attacking. So some of those things, that's why people do go to a gym or something. There's people there. And even if you walking out by yourself, and I'm not talking about just females, males too, they attack. They're watching you. They're watching your car. What type of car are you driving? A lot of things have happened at gas stations. People out there pumping gas, minding their own business. So there's certain times I go pump gas. And some of them pump gas, and there's a lot of people there, and they still attack. You have to focus. You have to pay attention to routines and what's going on in your life. Even with your money, you have to pay attention to the routine, what's going on in your life. You need to be checking when you put your money into an ATM and deposit it, or your card and pull the little deposit thing and all that. Because scammers, they put things on there. Even in grocery stores, they put the thing on the grocery store so they can get your information. And you have to kind of jiggle it. I always jiggle mine. I'm like, I'm not doing this with you. But we have to focus and figure out our everyday life. There's 3 stages to focusing. You're either doing it now, immediate, because somebody's there. Oh, gotta focus. Where are they going? Somebody's around your house. What are you gonna do? 911, 911, whatever. Okay, you're gonna call. You're gonna do this. You're immediate. And maybe it's immediate with a bill. I got to pay this. They're getting ready to do a shut off at this time, this day. You're more focused. We got a birthday party. What do I have to do? I got to buy the present. Do I have enough funds? Blah, 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 blah. That's immediate. Then it can be short. It's not a long-term thing, okay? I got to do my budget. It's short. It's written out. I got to do my budget for YouTube. It's written out. It's short. I got to drive to the car wash. How much money do I have? Here I go. I got to go to McDonald's. How much money I got? Oh, maybe not today. That's short term. Long term. Is your budget long term? Now that you've written it out, now it's long term for that month. You're checking it every day. You're checking the bank. It's ingrained in you. You're getting ready for the next month. And not waiting. I see some of you waiting. I'm still looking at on YouTube people putting out July 1st budgets on like yesterday. You're behind. You might as well skip it. That's too far back. We're getting ready for September. All the July stuff needs to be in July. And I know we get behind. But you're not true to yourself. If you're behind, are you really behind? Are you that far back? What's going on with you? Because we're not focusing. A viewer does not want to look at a budget that's back there and they've kept up with you this whole time, and you're talking about July the 1st, around, 4th of July. I was looking at that like, okay, turn that off. That's way back there. And then I looked at when it came on, it was the same day. You have to be focused. It's better just don't put the video out. Okay, just skip the video. We're okay. We got so many videos to look at. We'll come back. Just stay on tune here. Or maybe you were in the hospital. Okay, I was in the hospital, didn't get that video out. Let's move on. But this is August. Let's get it. Let's stay on it. Let's stay focused. We got to stay focused. We got to pay attention to what? Detail. You always got to pay attention to detail when you focus. What's going on? Like that couple down, when they came out the casino. When I come out of casinos and things, I'm looking. When I come out of anywhere, I'm looking. I can come out the grocery store in broad daylight. I'm looking all around. I'm looking at people, checking them out. Who are you? Okay, what's going on with you? Are you walking sideways? Are you getting ready to walk into me? What is going on? When you're focused, also, number 2, you have to be organized. You have to organize what you're doing. If you're going to the grocery store, you have to organize exactly what you are going to buy. Maybe this month, we are not getting any snacks and all that good stuff, because we do not have the money. We got to pull ourselves together. This month, I got to pay for the car maintenance. I have to shut some of this stuff down over here and maybe just make the minimum payment. You have to organize everything. You want to do it well. That's number 3. You want to do whatever you do well. You just do not want to do it half or just a little bit or barely doing it all. You want to do your budget well. You want to do your life well. Okay? Because when you do something well, always remember somebody is looking at you, and you do it well, you may be able to teach that next person. You may be teaching somebody and they just didn't tell you what's going on with them. you need to know that this is sustained. Focus is sustained. It should be your whole life. You should be focusing the rest of your life. It's not something I'm going to focus now. Okay, we're done. I did it. You got to do it the rest of your life. You got to focus on your money. Focus on your life. Focus on your directions. You can tell people that don't have focus. Nothing's happening. They don't move an inch. I didn't say you were going to get your dream job, but you're focusing. I told you the difference between the McDonald's in another town and our McDonald's. The McDonald's in our other town, the workers are focused. Okay, they're not worried about people talking about them. They got their money down. They don't have trouble with money and making sure the customers got the right change, the right order. They are all on it. They got everybody in place. You go to our McDonald's out here, everything is, sometimes you got somebody else's food. I have to drive back and give them the food. Like, this is not mine. Or they hand you the wrong drinks. They're not focused. They see you when you come in the drive-thru. They know what car came in first and second. That's not focusing. You need somebody there that's always looking at the drive-thru and say, that car came in first. May I help you? Next car came on the other side. May I help you? Not 3 cars on one side, 5 on the other. Or sometimes not even answering one lane. They don't focus. And the other one's on it. They focus. They got one person. They have a remedy. You have to have decision making, remember, and a remedy. So you need to focus on the path ahead and don't be distracted. Jesus was focused. They tell you that in Luke 5:5-16. He used to withdraw. He used to pray. He used to reflect. He didn't hang around them. He had to go quietly someplace else. Even during the 40-day, 40-night thing. What did he do? He left. He was focusing. Figuring out his mission, what he's supposed to do that his dad told him to do. What am I going to do? He had to focus because when he was out there those 40 days, who'd he run into? The devil. Little D was out there. Okay? And little D was offering all kinds of things. And he had to focus and say, wait a minute, my dad already has this stuff. I don't need you. I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do anything that you say. And there's a lot of people, they don't focus today. What are they doing? Talking about, oh, I'll do it. I'll pray later. I'll repent later. Later may not come for you. Later may be 1 second in a minute. You may be standing there and you just drop down. You didn't have time to say anything. You have to focus all the time. And we didn't say a big old prayer or something like that. Just talk to God. You don't need to do all that. He talks. He just wants somebody to talk to sometimes. You don't even talk. No, some people, they go and they do bad things and they think they're going to be saved. You're not going to be saved if you don't fix this rather quickly. The world is changing. Don't you see things happening? The hurricanes and things don't just, yeah, they had them before, but these things are happening. Earthquakes in strange places. Okay. All this stuff. Rumors of war. More war. We may get into a war again, which we need to back off. You know, we were in a lot of wars probably we shouldn't have been in, and we got in. But yes, it was to save people. But right now, you know, we know our people are struggling. We need help. And people don't realize how much help we need around the world. The government realizes it. Believe me, they know. So that's why I said you need to focus. See, you wouldn't have been into this if you hadn't focused. I started focusing, you know, I came on here in 2022. And by the time I started focusing 2023, that I was not going to be in this. I recognize money something, the finances, the government was changing and nothing was coming. And, jobs were sapping up. And I was focusing. I was like, I'm saving some money. The word was save. And I got to 2024, start saving. I was telling everybody, I'm still telling you, save. We don't know what's coming. You don't know about your future. You should always have some money in the back somewhere. Never spend to your last dime. If you make $400, try to keep half of it. If you can't, keep some of it. You got to focus on what's going on. You have to pay attention. A lot of people go, I don't listen to the news. I don't do that. Yeah, because you don't focus. All they have is bad news. They wouldn't have bad news for you if you would focus. That's them. But you at least know what's going on in the world and what's happening with the world and the policies any politician is making or they don't make. Or are they going to help you or they're not going to help you? We don't know that. So we have to focus and make sure our path is clear, that we have our finances so we're not worried. I'm not worried, about my money because, I saved it. I'm not worried about it. Groceries can go up. I mean, they get shocked when I go to the grocery store. I sit there, I see some steaks or something. I said, I think we'll do steak. I go by, the little cart and everything, and they look at me. People will just come out. Those steaks are like, it's like 3 of them. I get them for the kids. Those steaks are like $21. I said, yeah, I see that. Okay. And I just move on. That's not that we eat steak every day. It's in my budget. I told you I hardly spend $80 a month unless I go to the butcher or the fish market because I'm stocking up for the rest of the year. But, it's in my, I got $21. I haven't been to the grocery store since last month. But you don't know that. Okay, you don't know me. And you don't know how I can get. So with the groceries, so it's like, I see it's $21, or it's a chuck roast, it's $22. They're losing it. I can't, and I feel sorry for them. I really do. But we need the budget, and some of them, they just don't get enough money. They don't have the money, and I know, and that's a government problem. There should be more money coming in, and I do believe also that when you retire, if you are like middle income going down, maybe 140,000 down or 100,000 down, that you don't need to be paying taxes anymore. You need to, how come they can't stop paying taxes for the elderly? All together, everybody. Nobody pays taxes. You get to 65 or whatever their cutoff is, 70 they're trying or whatever. No taxes, you're done. You worked your life. You should have some type of reward. But no, money rules, right? It rules, and we have to be prepared for it. What does the Bible also say about focusing? Proverbs 4:25. Look straight ahead. Pay attention to the future. Pay attention to now. Look, fix your eyes on what lies before you. The Bible tells you a lot of things. It can even tell you how to make a cake. But it's telling you got to focus. You got to look. You can't keep doing what you're doing. If you don't focus, you're going to fall into a hole or something. Last night, my son works in another town, and when it gets night, I go to pick him up. Like I said, we don't leave each other hanging. We're gone. Okay, make sure somebody's picking him up and he doesn't drive in or anything because he's getting off on the night shift. And we came home, and I turned the corner to go leave downtown. We have this little downtown, and there was this guy standing in the middle of the street. It's very dark around here. It's rural. no lights but my headlights. And all I saw when I turned that corner was a guy with a pair of shorts looking down at his cell phone. And I had to hit the brake. Walking in the middle of the street, looking at his cell phone. He was not focused. And then he waved at me to go on. It took him such a long time to register that I was even there. I mean, I was like this close to him. That's how fast I looked at my headlights. Just happened to see his shorts. And I just stopped. And me and my son's looking at him like, what are you doing there? Why are you in the middle of the street just standing there? And he's looking at his cell phone. Crossing the street like nobody's here. I'm just going to cross. And then he stops and he's still looking at his cell phone. He looks at me and waves me on. Come on. It's okay. It's not okay. What if you got hit? You'd be in the hospital. You're in the middle of the road. It's not my fault you're walking in the middle of the road. So you got a bunch of hospital bills coming. Not focused. You could have lost your life. I wasn't slow turning that corner. It wasn't like I was easing around the corner. I was like, I don't see anybody, and it was pitch black. Except for my headlights shining, and I put them back down on the low beam. They were on the high beam. I put them back down because a car was coming before me and before I turned. So they were on low beam, and then here we go. Not focused. You're just walking with these cell phones, looking down. It's not that important. You need to stand by the side. If you're going to look at your cell phone, I watch people over and over. I've heard stories about people falling in manhole covers and all this. Nothing. Falling in fountains. It's just crazy. Just for a 5-letter word. Focus. Think about what you're doing. Think about what you can do and what you want to do in life. Because if you don't have focus, you're not going to get anywhere. You're going to be doing the same thing like him, looking at the cell phone till somebody comes around there. It could have not been me. They could have just came whipping around there. Get a teenager. You know, they haven't driven that long. And the family's going to be blaming everybody and going on, oh, you blah, blah, blah. Not my fault. You're in the middle of the street. You're not even in the crosswalk. So take some time. Think about your focus. Think about who you are and why you're doing something. Always ask yourself, what is my why? Why am I struggling? Why? What things do I want in life? Why am I budgeting? You're budgeting because you want more money. You want an easy life. You want to have the money if a disaster happens. And you may not want that disaster to happen, but you'll have some peace of mind that you could get through it. You have to focus and concentrate on everything. I told you it can be life-changing. That guy could have got hit. It would have been life-changing. He could have got taken out. He could have got bones broken, body injury. He may have supposed to been going to work the next day. He wouldn't have been there. Things can be life-changing. That's why I pick up my son. Somebody could be there in a dark parking lot. He's a manager, and him and the assistant manager are closing at night. Could be somebody there. They watched, thinking the safe is open, blah, blah, blah. Things have happened like that. And you don't want to think of things happening like that, but they do. And we think of things like that all the time. And people don't like to stay in touch either. You know, your kids get to a certain age, you want them, please call me. You know, they may be in college, call me, and they don't want to. You know, the independence thing shoots in there. And you just have to keep talking and talking and talking. And my mom talked so much, and my dad, when I was younger, by the time I got to college, I was calling them every day. What you doing? How you doing? You know, they expected my call when I came in. And they knew that if I did not call, by evening, at night or whatever, if they did not get that call, they were springing into action. They were there. They were riding to the college. Okay, one day I was studying so hard, and I would go to the music department and study. They have these music rooms where you practice your music, and I would practice. I played piano, and I would practice or sing. And I also studied in there. And I was so exhausted one night because I had a test the next day, I fell asleep. I locked the door, but just took a nap. Off I went. And they, like, where is she? Did she call you? No, she didn't call. And they were up there. They were riding. They were driving, calling. You have to keep in touch. Yes, I fell asleep, but to know somebody was there too. Peace of mind. Somebody's there, somebody's thinking of you. You have to tell, nowadays especially, you have to tell somebody you're there. I'm here. I'm over here. It's okay. Even if it was a few seconds, Mom, I'm fine. Dad, I'm fine. My kids call all the time. You may get tired of it, or they leave a message or a text. Something's got to go. I like the voice better because if anybody gets their cell phone, they could pretend they're texting. And watch what you're doing. Focus when the scammers. See, that's people not focusing. That doesn't look right. I don't know that number. You don't need to pick it up. You don't need to answer that email. Do you know that email? Who is that? I hated the day when they started putting even those ads in our email. To me, it's just an invasion of privacy. I don't even read them. If they send the ad in my email, I just immediately click it off. I didn't sign up for this because see, we sign up for stuff and they sign us up to a third party. And you know who else signed you to a third party? The credit bureau. They get paid to give these people information. They get paid for subprime lenders. And I feel bad about that because you'll get all kinds of stuff. Do you want a loan? Do you want this? Do you want that? And the scammers have gotten onto the loans too. There's like different names and different places, and they got a post office box. I traced one, I was looking at it, and I was like, oh, there's a post office box. That's their address. I mean, we got post office boxes, but it's like you're not in an established office that doesn't look empty. Who are you? And these names, these debt collectors, they've gotten onto it. Oh, we can scam. We can get the money. Your money's gone. You need to focus on your bank, everything. If the bank don't work, change banks. Move them out. If they don't want to work with you and everything, if something does happen, it's time to go. If your credit limit keeps moving up and down, because they moving them up and down, because they scared, time to go. Or work something out. Focus. Have a wonderful day, a great, unique day. Thank you to my subscribers, my old and new, and thank you to those who are thinking about it. Like and subscribe. Enjoy yourself. I'll be around to visit. Make sure everything's okay. I'll be working on my focus is my house. I'm working on paying it off. So you can look at those videos if you like, and there'll be some more. Bless you. I'm praying for you. Okay, don't forget my Cash Bear Mama shop if you need an abundant wealth check. I'm praying for those that bought one. I'm praying for those that bought anything in my shop because you are helping me with my homeless people that I work with that are doing just great. And thank you for that, and the items and the food they can plant in the ground and sell. That we got our garden and we're at the farmer's market. So you don't know how much you have helped. Thank you to my members also. You don't know how much you help. You are the greatest bunch in the world. Thank you to everybody for just being here and saying a nice thing. And I know you're busy, but thank you for those even thinking about me, okay? Bless you, praying for you. Take care.